Cat, baby, I'm a boss. Carolina barbecue sauce with the slaw. I'm the safe, the cellar, and the vault. I'm the best, the effect, and the cause. I'm the law. It's the North Cat, baby, I'm a boss. Carolina barbecue sauce with the slaw. I'm the safe, the cellar, and the vault. I'm the best, the effect, and the cause. I'm the law.
What's going on, guys? We're back for the next episode of Secret Sauce to Be Your Own Boss. And today we're at the Muscle Factory. And we have Will Caldwell here. He is the owner of the Muscle Factory. This is his location that he's had here for around 5 years now. He actually has a second location that's getting ready to open up. And he also has an online nutrition store, nutritopiahealth.com. How you doing today, Will?
I'm doing great, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate you having us out. So, you know, each episode is based on a local business owner, entrepreneur, or self-starter in the Charlotte metro area. And I thought this would be an awesome person to speak to because not only does he have a business in this area, but he's actually from this area. So he grew up in these parts. What made you decide to open up your own nutrition store?
Really, it goes back to what made me just want to be like my own business owner. It was the freedom. You know, I decided, you know, I kind of followed the path of my family, my dad, and I'd been working building apartment complexes. That's what he does. And I'd kind of decided that wasn't for me. And I don't ever, you know, honestly, I don't know if it was for him. He's really, really successful, but, you know, I think he would have been successful at anything he had done. Definitely, it's not his passion though. And so for me, just the type of personality that I am, if I'm going to have to love it to succeed at it. So that was kind of my thing. I knew I was going to have to be my own boss. And then the way I actually kind of fell through the nutrition was, you know, I loved working out. I love, you know, different things you can do with your body and being healthy. And I had ran GNC briefly when I was in college. And I realized, you know, I was like, I think I could do this, you know, and I think I could do it better, and I think I could offer the people something, you know, a better product. So that was kind of my whole aspect behind it.
That's a lot of great knowledge right there.
Yeah.
And one thing about what you just said is, because I had this question coming for you.
Yeah.
What made you think that you could do it your own way and open up your own nutrition shop and be successful outside of being someone that is the standard quo, the GNCs, the vitamin shops? Because that's got to be a scary feeling to think, I know I can do this, but can I compete against these big boys being an independent guy and doing this on my own? What gave you the confidence to make it happen on your own?
So at first it definitely was scary, and that was something I teetered back and forth with. I did, you know, when I first started thinking that I was going to open up my own thing, I did actually do some research into looking at a GNC franchise or a vitamin shop. And at the end of the day, you know, it wasn't for me. When you get into a franchise, it definitely, you have the backing, and that was the part that definitely gives you the peace of mind. You get the backing, you get a lot of the marketing, and they really do push you, but you pay a big fee for it.
Oh, yeah.
And you're pretty much stuck with them for life. You pay about 3% of your earnings to them every year, and they tell you down to what your employees have to wear, what color your walls are going to be, and what you're going to sell. And so for me, that was kind of like the deciding factor that I was going to do my own thing. But it was scary, and you know, it was a catch-22. It was scary because I didn't have that big marketing, but at the same time, the confidence came from the fact that I knew I had the freedom to do whatever I want, and I did feel like I had some really good ideas and some things that would separate me, like a lot of the products that aren't carried in GNC.
Yeah, that's a lot of good knowledge there. And so basically, you didn't want to be controlled by buying into a franchise. You wanted to not only have your own business, but be the boss of your own business and run it the way you see fit.
Yep. And so the confidence part with that, what I would say is that I knew that I'm a go-getter, and I knew that it would be hard, but I also knew that I wasn't going to be restrained, you know, because they tell you where you can market it, how you can market it, and I knew that if I could just, you know, be unleashed and just really go out there and do it, and, you know, then nobody could hold me back. I could, you know, I guess exhaust all aspects of out there, so resources.
So obviously, I know you personally. We've been friends for a while, and I'm in the fitness industry, you know, from having my own fitness line of clothing. I'm wearing yours today.
I appreciate that.
Absolutely. To being a fitness trainer, to having my own gym, to working with, you know, from ordinary regular people all the way up to athletes and stuff. How long did it take you to have that breakthrough when you first started to where you really started to carve your own niche and break through in the fitness industry? And the second part of the question that I was leading to is, so my passion obviously is in the fitness world. What exactly drew you into the supplement side of it?
Really just, I guess, the experience of it. Like I said, getting a taste of it at GNC whenever I was, 20 years old. And for me, I've always been kind of into science. I've always been kind of like an undercover nerd when it comes to certain things. So
I would have never guessed that.
Yeah, so I just researched everything about it, man, and it's just what I love. And that was what kind of pushed me towards it. I knew that for training, I'm not even, a lot of people all the time will come to me and they'll be like, hey man, do you think you could train me? And I'm like, I don't think you want me to train you, I'm fit and everything, but that just wasn't really my thing. I didn't really pick up on the mechanics part that much. I still need that, people to show me stuff. But as far as the supplements, it was just something I grasped onto. It came easy, and I loved, the endless knowledge out there, all the different things.
I rely on you a lot for knowledge dealing with certain supplements. And so to the viewers out there, if you had to tell people there's one crucial supplement that if you don't take any other supplement, and I suggest you only take one, what would that one be?
Well, can I divide it into health and wellness type thing, and then maybe sports supplements? If I could do two, for overall health, believe it or not, I would say magnesium. Magnesium is the biggest thing that's never talked about by health professionals and doctors. 95% of America is deficient. Every time you sweat, you work out, you're literally oozing magnesium out. That's what's in your sweat, and it makes up, everything. It's the catalyst for 300 reactions in your body. So if you're deficient, which most people are, you're not, those catalysts, those reactions are not firing off properly, and that goes everything from depression, anxiety, serotonin levels, muscle mechanics, sexual function. So it's a big deal, and if you do a lot of research on it, some of the things they're showing now is, a lot of anti-anxiety medication and depression medication is overprescribed. More people are on it now than ever, and a lot of studies have shown that with high dosing magnesium over time, you're actually able to fix a lot of those issues. So a lot of people are just magnesium deficient. That comes down to a lot of the crops and stuff being GMO nowadays. You've got a lot of stuff that's got pesticides in it, which actually strips magnesium from your body. Alcohol strips magnesium from your body. So it's really just, our surroundings, our environment, a lot of stuff in the soil, is depleted from magnesium. So you really have to make an extra effort to get that in. So.
And for the sports side,
for the sports side, man, I would just say protein. A lot of people are it's like they think protein only as bulking up, but they don't realize that it can be used for so many different things. Women can use it for weight loss. You can also use it to bulk up. You can use it, if you're in more of like a vegan or plant diet, because there is plant-based protein. I wouldn't say just whey or one way or the other. I would say, I think just protein in general. And if you can kind of go towards a plant-based protein, honestly, they're showing that the health effects are a lot better,
So on a personal level, each person's different. Each people have this that they like. Each person has that they like. I personally am a big fan of BCAAs.
Yep.
It's my #1 go-to. I make sure that I drink my BCAAs every day.
Yeah.
I work out every day, so I beat my body down pretty good. So it helps me recover. I feel a little bit more refreshed. What would you say to people watching out there about BCAAs and the benefits of taking BCAAs?
The benefits of BCAAs, for one, a lot of people have trouble drinking enough water, and it's not that they're not thirsty. Some people say, "Oh, I get tired of water." That's a good way of using it. BCAAs will help you make sure you get in that amount of water because it'll be a little bit more appetizing, I guess, to drink. But the main benefit of it is you're putting back electrolytes. Most of them have magnesium in it, so it goes back to the magnesium. And it goes beyond just muscle function. It's good. BCAAs are good for your hair, your skin, fingernails, all that. So it speeds up the recovery if you when you're working out. It also is going to buffer lactic acid and cortisol, which are stress hormones. Those are bad for your hair, they're bad for your skin, they're bad for your muscles. They are catabolic, so they break down muscle, which you don't want. So you want to get that buffered out, the lactic acid and the cortisol. Also, a good thing about the BCAAs is from a dieting standpoint, if you're someone who is going long periods of time without eating, what happens is your body, when you don't eat for long periods of time, you will lose weight because you'll lose body fat, but you'll also you'll lose muscle. So the problem with that is you don't want to put your body in a state of starvation. You don't want your body to want to store everything when you finally do eat. So where the BCAAs come in is whenever you're drinking those, even if it's 0 calories, 0 carbs, 0 sugar, and it's not food, they're the building blocks of protein. So your body recognizes it as that you are feeding it, even though everything's 0 calories. So it's a way to stay anabolic, not go into that catabolic state, but yet you can preserve the muscle, but body fat will still kind of shed.
So I have plenty of other questions I want to ask you about being a business owner and stuff and everything, but before we stop nerding it out, I have one more question.
Yeah.
I try to tell people this all the time about when people are trying to lose weight and they go long periods of time without eating and they're basically starving themselves.
Yeah.
I tell these people that is horrible for you to do. And their response to it, well, I'm not hungry.
Yeah.
Well, I don't care if you're not hungry.
Yeah.
You need to eat something. When you don't eat food, you shut your metabolism down and you put your body in a starvation state.
Yeah.
And when you do eat, your body takes the food that it gets and it stores it and it holds on to it instead of burning it properly.
Right on the stomach.
It puts it all right here in your stomach instead of burning the way it properly should, because your body is in shock because it doesn't know when it's going to get properly fed again. So for you people out there that think that by starving yourself and not eating properly, eating once or twice a day, that you're going to lose weight quicker, you're wrong. You're shutting your metabolism down. You're putting your body in starvation mode.
Yep.
Would you agree with that?
Yeah, your body will become very soft and flabby, and and I hate to use this term, but you'll be what people call skinny fat. You'll see somebody that have skinny legs, skinny arms. That's because, skinny butt, that's because they've depleted all the muscle, but the body fat will still be there. A lot of times you'll have people that will be very skinny but have just a gut right here. And a lot of times it comes down to how often they're eating. And it doesn't matter if someone's like, well, I only eat 1,000 calories a day, but maybe they're eating them all at once. Well, the person that's eating, the 1,000 calories total, but breaking it up, throughout the day, that's way better. I think you should eat more than 1,000 calories. I think everybody should, honestly, but
All right, so we've touched on a lot of the details about the nutrition products. Let's dig a little bit deeper about you personally. You're from the Charlotte area, so you grew up in this area.
Yeah, I grew up around, which is now like the South End area. It's blown up a lot, but that's kind of where I grew up at.
So how long, once you started your own business, did it take before people started to recognize you, your store, your product, your business, and you started to gain traction and start to make money on your investment, and things started to really go in the right direction for you?
I'd say really, it took a solid 2 years, and really even, and I'll correct you a little bit, we're in year 4, so not in year 5.
Okay.
But it seems like it's been a long time I had it. But yeah, it's still a growing process right now. We're still constantly finding ways, but it took about 2 years. One thing I will say is that you gotta, we have like the honeymoon phase. You gotta watch out for that. That's when you start your business, and the family and all the friends come out to support you for a little bit. Well, eventually that kind of wears off. A lot of people come out and support you because they know you, they care about you, they want to support you, but that doesn't mean they're necessarily always going to be involved in your business. And that's what you got to watch out for, the honeymoon phase, because when we first started, I was like, this is cake, man. I was like, we're killing it, for the first little bit, and then it hit where the allure dies down and everybody else goes on with their life, and you have to really find, real customers, people that you do not know, stuff like that. So
that's some good knowledge, y'all. That's some good knowledge.
Yes. But at the same time, I was very fortunate to be able to experience the honeymoon phase. It's what I call it, where we did have a lot of support from friends and family at first. So thankful for that. But yeah, it took about 2 solid years to really get that back, and it was hard. I would say that I remember about 6 to 8 months in is when it really kind of reality check.
It's getting real.
Yeah, because I put everything into this, so I did it with no loans, no credit cards or anything, so it was all right there in front of me.
So what advice would you give to other people in this area that are thinking about going on their own and starting their own business?
The biggest thing is you just cannot be complacent. When you think you're good, you're not good. You still have to constantly evolve and constantly think of new ways, and constantly keep not only yourself, but you've got to keep like your staff and the people around you into it. It's very easy to get burned out. And there's, especially when you have to have some people step up and work more hours, or things happen. That's really you're only as good as the people around you, and that is true. You can only do so much on your own. The biggest thing is, like I said, don't be complacent and constantly roll with the punches. Be willing to evolve. I had things set in my mind that things were always going to be this way, or this is how I had to do it, and I found out a lot of times that things might not work out that way, and it seems like you know, it's the end of the world. But I will say, like, if you just got to be willing to, you know, look at other areas and evolve and roll with the punches. And like I said, just do not be complacent. Constantly look. It doesn't matter if you're rolling in money left and right. You need to constantly look for new ways and kind of see what's going on.
Because it won't always be that way.
Because everything's changing, not just your business, but the industry your business is in and the things around you with your area. So,
yeah, so what happened the first time you had some bills coming up and the money wasn't coming in and you thought to yourself, uh-oh, I might be in some trouble here?
You know, luckily I had kind of prepared for that, but you know,
that's smart. A lot of people don't.
I had prepared for that. And I had done a couple things, you know, where I had paid some things off before I started a business. So I had, you know, like I had a Tundra, and I ended up selling that, you know, and it was paid for and got really good money for that. And then just, you know, did some smart business moves, kind of moved some things around. That was the biggest thing, you know, like I can honestly say it didn't hit me too hard. I mean, definitely hit that point where I was kind of like, all right, what are we going to do now? But you know, I never thought it was the end or it was going to be over. I never really thought that. I knew that these were things, you know, my dad owned a business, so I had seen what it was like for him owning a business, and you know, he was very much, you know, as much as a business owner as he was, this was very foreign to him what I was doing. So I mean, I remember the first time I sat down with him and told him I was leaving, he was like, "That's great, proud of you." And he was like, "Does that make money? Like, do you make money for that?" I was like, "We'll see." But you know, I would say before you start your own business, really get your other things in order. Don't go into a business with a whole bunch of debt unless your debt is your business. I would not say, you know, if you owe for a lot of other stuff, you need to handle those things because that will come back one way or the other and, you know, bite you in the butt for sure.
Yeah, so how many people in this area knew who you were? Like when they come in, oh yeah, you're Will, blah, blah, blah. Does that happen a lot because you're from this area?
Yeah, but the biggest thing, you know, in a way, it did benefit me from being here, but at the same time, I had left for a while, and I was not someone, you know, after, a little bit after high school, you know, early beginnings of college, you know, I wasn't really around this area a lot. My parents were, so that's what made me still choose this area, and I was familiar with it. Also, the fact that there weren't really any nutrition stores around or anything like it. And I knew that it was an affluent area, and it was growing. You know, this whole area is blowing up, so that was in my favor. But yeah, you know, I still have people today that walk in, and they're like, "Oh, you own it." You know, it's happening less and less, I think, because people are seeing the face and everything. But
I went into Brownlee Jewelers the other day and mentioned something about to come here, and the lady, the GM there, said, "Oh yeah, I know Will. He's a great guy."
Yeah, and it's starting now, which is a good thing. It's more and more where I'll go places and people will say, "Oh, you're the owner of Muscle Factory," things like that. So it's definitely good that we are making an impression, or at least that people recognize. You know,
and you have a second location that's going to open up, right?
Yeah, I have a second location and open up. It's going to be actually inside the new office gym. Great new owners. They've bought the gym. It's located right across the Busboy Bridge in the town of Lake Wiley. It's right beside Reyes Teca, if anybody's familiar with that, the Mexican restaurant. And it was the original sports and fitness center is what it says outside. But yeah, the new owners, they're great. They're really changing it, giving it a facelift. They've spent probably, you know, upwards of $60,000, $70,000 on new equipment. So we kind of saw that as a good opportunity, and we both want to kind of co-brand and promote each other.
So you're actually going to be inside this facility?
We'll be inside, but it's not like we're just going to be in the back or at a counter or in a back room. They were kind of building us from the ground up a whole structure. So it's a really kind of cool concept. It's an industrial kind of like look to it, where we're not really enclosed in a room. We're in the middle, and we're kind of surrounded by some fencing and stuff. So we're excited about that. You know, and it's a little different kind of a concept, but it'll still be all the same things that you know, the top leading brands and products that we sell here.
And you also have an online nutrition store. So no matter where you're at, you can purchase from your online nutrition store. Tell us a little bit more about that.
So the online is nutritopiahealth.com, and a lot of people don't really recognize that it's affiliated with Muscle Factory, and that's actually kind of what I went for. Muscle Factories, you know, that's my baby. That was what I started, and I do love that. But as I kind of evolved in the industry, I really got into a lot of the health and wellness. So we still offer all the same sports and fitness things on nutritopiahealth.com, but it's themed a little bit more towards health and wellness products. And we do have, it's a little bit more, I guess, the theme for everybody. You know, your grandmother might not want to buy something that says musclefactory.com, you know, when you have Nutritopia Health, that's a little bit more PC right beside it. So we kind of just, you know, that goes to evolving and really kind of seeing what's going on in your industry. And so for online, we didn't want it to sound so like hardcore or aggressive with that niche like we have here, because, you know, that works for here for this area because you have a lot of people and competitors that are into that. But although, like I said, offering the same products, just kind of a different theme. And we drop ship. We have 6 different warehouse spaces that we drop ship out of, and you know, that's a whole different animal too online. It's cutthroat, you know, especially now that you have, a couple years ago, it wouldn't have been as hard, but I mean, Amazon, they make it really hard for you.
So one thing I would like to say is, as someone that's in the health and fitness field, when you go into a place like GMC or Vitamin Shop, there's a corporate shop, you go in there, the prices are through the roof. You buy a 5-pound jug of protein, it's 75 bucks. Coming here, it's 55 bucks. That's $20 cheaper.
Yeah.
But here's the even bigger difference. You go in a place like that, they're working off a commission. Half the people working it, they don't even know what these products are or what's in these products, but they know they get paid if they sell you something. So whatever the new hot, cool thing is, they're gonna push on you. They're gonna try to sell you whatever. They don't care about you as a person, they care about making that sale and getting that commission. If you come in here, there's no commission. This man owns this place. I know all the employees that are here, very cool people. They will break down exactly what is in each product and guide you to exactly what you need. Not try to push this product and that product on you, but get you what you need to make yourself better and get the benefits that you're looking for. I've ran across a lot of people that have a lot of knowledge and a lot of people that run a lot of scams. Will is definitely one of the most knowledgeable people when it comes to the supplement industry that I've ever met. Anything you would like to know about supplements, he can break down. So how about we take a look and walk around and see some of the awesome products that you have in here. All right, so I see you got your own clothing apparel here, and obviously I got one of your shirts on today. Yeah, let's see, you got sweaters and everything.
Yeah, it's for us, I've probably given out more of it than I've actually sold, but for me, you know, it's a little different than what you have. You know, you've actually got your own like clothing line. For us, you know, it's just more been a marketing tool. You know, I've noticed one of the best things to do is if you can spend a little extra and get a good quality product for apparel, and you actually give it to, you know, people that are in the industry that, you know, they want to wear it. It's the best advertising you can do, especially in the gym. So,
so what all exactly do we have in here?
We've got a lot of the protein pizzas. We've got some of the Salem Hills grass-fed beef and chicken. It's all local. It's hormone-free, antibiotic-free. So, you know, that's not anything that we're going to get rich off of in here, but it was another way to diversify the store. And so that's something that kind of goes back what we talked about evolving, thinking outside the box. You know, it's you get a different kind of flow of people. You know, maybe somebody just wants to come in and grab the beef that, you know, doesn't necessarily take all of the supplements, and you know, you've got them in your store. So as a new customer, so that's good. Right here, we've got a lot of like the anti-inflammatory stuff and some of the magnesium I was telling you about. And really, this section here is something that I want a lot of people to understand is one of our kind of slogans that we're kind of going with right now, marketing points for Muscle Factory is more than just muscles, because the name can be a little deceiving. You know, we've got everything from, you know, people that are just doing like vegan or yoga type lifestyle. We've got stuff for your grandma. We've got stuff for your average muscle head. We've got stuff for, you know, competitors, just everything. So it's really, we do have a full array of health and wellness things, and you know, this is the kind of the stuff this is the foundation right here. A lot of this stuff is what's going to keep you alive. You know,
I tell people that vitamins are so crucial. People underestimate vitamins. I actually take this every day myself.
Yeah, and it's not you know, I hate to bash other brands, but Centrum and One a Day is not cutting it. You know, that's stuff that you find in Walmart. It's synthetic, but that's why you have to take it with food. All the vitamins here you can take on an empty stomach because they are whole food vitamins. A lot of it's all organic. We don't carry anything that's synthetic, and if it is taken, it has to be taken with food. It's usually for absorption reasons. So this right here is huge because, you know, like you can be you can look amazing, you can have an amazing body, and you can be extremely unhealthy on the inside. So it all starts with, you know, the inside. This right here is a lot of the ancient nutrition, Dr. Axe stuff, the keto stuff. It's really big right now. And I will say I'm not really big on, you know, necessarily buying into stuff because people have their face on everything, but Dr. Axe big fan of him because before he was selling product, he had a pure just like information site. And I know some people that have followed some of the protocols for leaky gut and other ailments, and it's really helped. And then so when he came out with his line, he was super involved in it with the formulating and everything. And I really believe in a lot of the stuff, and he's very, very knowledgeable. So the Dr. Act stuff is very great. All of it's very well dosed, clinically dosed, so you know that you're actually getting the amount you need of each ingredient to get the result.
One thing I'd like to say while we're in this section right here is we touched on earlier about people that put themselves in starvation mode because they don't eat properly throughout the day. And I suggest this to people that don't like to eat full meals, that might eat a breakfast or maybe eat a dinner and skip that lunch. There is extremely healthy protein bars that you can get. And let's say you're at work and you can't make it to lunch. I suggest you at least eat a protein bar to get that metabolism kicked up and get some calories in your body, and at least you know you're eating something healthy. And there's some amazing protein bars in here. This isn't the old school days where it tasted terrible and you ate something and you want to spit it out. Times have changed. There's some great stuff here.
And this is just a small selection, you know, of some of the things they have. There's so much out there, and so much more that we carry. And a lot of times too, you know, like you said, it's a quick, you know, way to get something in and kind of keep that metabolism going. And you know, another thing too though is you also just can't live off these bars either though, because they are good for you. They do have protein. They're usually low in fat. They're going to be low in sugar, high in protein. At the same time though, you need a full array of nutrition, vitamins and minerals, and you got to eat food to get to do that, or you know, a good greens formula, which we have that as well. But you know, it really comes down to food is still better than anything, and you know, this comes from somebody who sells supplements, so you know, it doesn't, you know, necessarily benefit me to tell people that, but really it does come down to good quality whole foods. If it's got less than 5 ingredients in it, that's what you want. You know, when you have stuff that you can't pronounce on the back, that's usually preservatives and stuff like that. It's your body doesn't know what to do with it. Your body will store it in your fat cells, and you will have more body fat. Plus, we've got a small selection of different pre-workouts. Kind of our go-to is the Devastate by Inspired Nutraceuticals. That is my favorite. That is probably my favorite overall line as well. Over here, we've got a lot of the BCAs he was talking about. Another Inspired Nutraceutical product right here, the BCAs. It's fermented sunflower. Is where it comes from, the source. It's really good quality, and this all 9 by Dimetize is really good because it's full spectrum. It's not just the BCAs, it's all the other essential aminos, and a lot of the studies now are showing that you need full spectrum, the full array of aminos to make the BCAs work well. So
to the great protein section.
Yeah, the big protein wall. Yep. So we've got everything you need here, and we handpick everything that goes on here, so we don't just necessarily carry a protein brand or something like that because it's popular. We definitely have good high quality stuff.
And this goes back to the vegan, like we were talking about earlier too, and this is one of the top brands and my favorite brands that I recommend to a lot of the ladies that ask me about protein.
Yeah, and what's cool about the V-Pro is a lot of vegan proteins are not necessarily geared towards athletes. A lot of them are just geared towards people who are living a vegetarian or vegan lifestyle, so they need extra protein in their diet. But this is actually geared towards an athlete, so the amino acid profile is much higher than a lot of the other you know, plant-based proteins. So I'm a big fan of that. Tastes good, and NutriKey is really, you know, top quality, top notch.
So as you come through here, I've noticed that over the past year, as the CBD has gone up, you've actually started selling it too. How's that going?
So I actually have been selling CBD for a while, but a lot of people don't realize that it didn't move for the longest time. And then it wasn't until we actually put a sign up about it being a natural pain relief painkiller that we had a lot of people come in. And I was kind of skeptical at first because it's got it's kind of got a stigmatism to it around here. A lot of people, a lot of stigma. A lot of people think that it's geared just towards, you know, marijuana, and it's totally different. It's from the hemp plant. It's THC free, especially around here. This is a non-legal state, so everything will be THC free, and our brands, they do stick to that. Everything's tested. But CBD, I mean, it does amazing things. Everything from lowering anxiety, full body anti-inflammatory, you know, helps you with sleep. So it's great. We have a wide variety of reasons to use it, and our customers use it for many different reasons. So we've got people who have multiple sclerosis that take it. We've had people, women that like to take it, you know, when they're having menstrual issues or endometriosis. And we've got you know, a lot of older people who just have back pain, or they're tired of taking the opioids and the prescription pills that the doctors have prescribed them, so they're trying to do it naturally so they don't have to be dependent on it. So
I'll tell you a quick story about me and CBD real quick, is that I battle fibromyalgia. and people don't know that about me. People,
I didn't know that.
yeah, I'm in great shape, and I never tell anybody when I'm hurting or anything's wrong with me. So people see me, and they think everything's fine sometimes, but sometimes it's a struggle for me to get up out of bed. When the fibromyalgia kicks in, sometimes it's so bad, it attacks my entire central nervous system and my muscles, and it's a brutal feeling. It feels like my back is on fire, it's tingling, and all my muscles are cramping, and I feel sick like I have the flu. Someone had been telling me about the CBD oil and it could help with it, and I was like, oh man, sounds kind of wacky and stuff. I started taking it.
Yeah.
It's amazing, man. I went from having fibromyalgia attacks like once a week to 6 months ago when I started taking it. I've had one fibromyalgia attack since then.
Yeah, one of the biggest things too with the CBD is just making sure you have a good quality brand, and that's why we only care about 4 or 5 brands. I try, you know, not to hate on other industries, but I try to kind of stay away from a lot of stuff that's sold in the smoke shops. There are some good brands, Hemp Bomb is, and they're really top notch. But I try to go towards more of the brands that are nutraceuticals or sold in sports distribution, that kind of stuff. But yeah, I mean, it works better as you take it, the longer you take it. You know, a lot of people will take it just for acute reasons, like, you know, they're hurting right then and there, so they'll take it. But really, daily usage is good, because once you get full body inflammation down, and you don't have a chronic inflammation, you have just acute inflammation, your body is really good at repairing itself and knowing what to do. But it's very hard for your body to do something when you have chronic inflammation. And chronic inflammation is basically just when your body gets to a point where it's in a full-time state of inflammation. So even normal things that wouldn't tax your body or hurt your body then hurt. Just standing up on your feet, you know, can be extremely painful when your body's under a state of chronic inflammation. And people go years of their life like this and don't realize that's what it is.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining us again, and you got a lot of awesome information today. You really got some secret sauce to be your own boss today. Yep. Will gave y'all a lot of great information. This is a really good guy. This store is awesome. His employees are really good people, full of knowledge. I stand by this place and put my backing and my word on it 100%. Y'all come down here and check it out. I want to thank you, Will, for having us out here today. You want to tell them about where the store is located in case they want to come out here and see you?
Yeah, so it's 829 Crossroads Plaza, Suite 24, Fort Mill, South Carolina. We're located right beside Planet Fitness. Cajun Yard Dogs on the other side of us. And our second location that's going to be opening is going to be inside the office gym. Can't remember the address right off the top of my head right now. We haven't opened yet, but it will be the original Sports and Fitness Center inside the office gym, Lake Wiley, South Carolina.
Thanks again for joining us, and I appreciate all the views. Until next time, we're out.
Thank you. Awesome.
It's the North Cat, baby, I'm a boss. Carolina barbecue sauce with the slaw. I'm the safe, the cellar, and the vault. I'm the best.